there's few things that get people more excited than talk of acquisition these days. Obviously, that's something that a lot of people like to hear about and a lot of people like to talk about. But what exactly is happening right now? Well, we know that there's the rumors of Sony and potentially some kind of Square Enix deal is literally that close to being announced, right? That that close, right there. Yeah. Supposedly, some even more documents and stuff like that came out that show that Sony purchased the Square Enix China side, which is like support studios and stuff like that. With that being said, EA was actually talking about all the rumors of them being purchased and potentially even being purchased by Microsoft. And I thought that was a very interesting thing to do a video on, because I also feel like, Microsoft obviously is starting to close in production of the Activision buyout. We've heard Sony kind of comment that, they're a little bit worried about the things that are going to happen if Microsoft owns Call of Duty. Some things, listen, Call of Duty is a huge deal. I think yearly, to have a game that does what that does, and I know this is a down year for them, but to have a game do what that does every single year pretty much, is just incredible. And like Microsoft has already said they're going to keep the game multi-plat, which I think is good and the right move. But I also think that Sony is probably more deep down worried that Microsoft, when they put that game on the, Game Pass platform, I think that people are going to potentially buy an Xbox over, say, a PlayStation 5. Now, I don't think it's the end of the world or anything like that, but I do think, and then listen, like PlayStation, they're locked into what PlayStation does best, right? PlayStation is always going to be that, top of the top, people excited and that kind of thing. But I think that you could look at millions of people, at least, a couple of million people maybe switching sides or going with Xbox. Because think about this. If you're a gamer and maybe you're a little bit more on the casual and you play your Maddens and you play your Call of Duties and your Fortnites and stuff like that, why spend $500 on a PS5 when you can get, a Series S for $300 or $250 sometimes, and a Game Pass subscription? And you know what I mean? Like, that's so much less up front. It's pretty incredible to think about. So Microsoft really did themselves some favors, but are Microsoft really in the position to buy an EA? I want to talk about this and the article a little bit more, because I feel like it's definitely an interesting one to talk about. But I would appreciate if any of you guys watch my video, please like the video. It helps it to be seen. I'm trying to get 100 likes on all my videos. It doesn't sound like a lot, but believe it or not, it helps tremendously. And so if I could get that, it could spur, it keeps me going. Like I said, I'm busy lately. I'm not really doing any podcasts anymore. I had to quit the podcast because work and that kind of thing. I want to keep doing videos, but I feel like I'm kind of spinning my wheels here. People watch, but they don't like or whatever for whatever reason. I don't really understand it. I'm trying to do things a little bit better, a little bit differently now. So hopefully you guys see that and can like the video and let me know what you think. Let's get started. Listen, if you want my opinion on what's going on with Microsoft and EA or whatever, I think that would be a terrible idea. I don't think Microsoft needs to buy any more publishers. I don't actually believe that they will buy EA. I don't think they could get away with buying EA. How the hell could you buy EA while already owning Activision and Bethesda? I think that would make a case for potentially some kind of antitrust or some kind of issue with, having a monopoly. So, yeah. The EA CEO comments on rumors of possible acquisition. The CEO chimed in on recent rumors about the acquisition of the company, explaining what's actually going on. The last couple of months have been extremely eventful on the business side of things for the gaming industry. Not only does Microsoft seem to be moving forward with this massive Activision Blizzard deal, but Sony also finalized its acquisition of Bungie in the meantime. This spurred a slew of rumors about Electronic Arts getting acquired by a bigger company too, which the company hadn't chimed in on until right now. Andrew Wilson, the current CEO of Electronic Arts, has finally decided to break the silence and go on record about what's going on with the publisher as of late. This is a significant change of pace for the company's official stance, as it had previously refused to comment on the matter in any way, shape, or form. According to Wilson, EA could not be, quote, in a stronger position as a standalone company than it currently is. The information was brought about as part of a latest Q1 earnings call, and it's bound to be bolstered by the fact that EA's live service games are rather successful. Andrew Wilson also claimed that the company's objective is to keep its players and shareholders happy, and that the current way of doing that doesn't seem to leave much performance on the table. He said, "We feel very, very confident and excited," underlining the notion that Electronic Arts isn't very likely to get acquired by a bigger company anytime soon. Alongside its tried and true flagships such as Apex Legends and the various sports franchises it's collaborating with, EA also seems to have hidden an ace up its sleeve as well. Apparently there's a major unannounced EA game launching in 2023, and it's entirely possible that it's yet another live service offering to bolster the publisher's portfolio. While it's somewhat generic on its own, Wilson's latest statements still suggest that the recent rumors of EA merging with another company aren't true after all. Still, it's worth noting and worth pointing out that Wilson's comments leaves enough wiggle room for the company to make big acquisition announcements in the future. As such, discussions are exceedingly unlikely to get revealed as part of a regular earnings call. It may be curious to note that EA's previous CEO, John Riccitiello, insulted developers who don't prioritize monetization features in system. Riccitiello left the company in the midst of the SimCity crisis only for Andrew Wilson to take over with little experience in game publishing. The company has, however, proliferated under Wilson's leadership, and the featured earnings call statements imply that this isn't likely to change anytime soon. So EA is doing good. They seem to be doing well. Listen, Sony couldn't afford to buy EA, first of all. Microsoft probably wouldn't be allowed to buy EA, so who would be left? I don't think Tencent would be able to go in there and get them either. So, yeah, like everything's kind of working out in such a weird way right now that, obviously we see that EA is, doing amazingly well. And I think that really speaks volumes for what they're able to do. They're going to have the new Star Wars game come out next year, and that sounds like it's going to be, a big hit. Listen, I like the Star Wars game. I like that Fallen Jedi Order or whatever it is. But I have to say, if I had any kind of grievance with it, it would be that the map is bad. Right, like I had trouble finding the map. Plus, it makes you backtrack too far if you die. So, I didn't find it to be terribly hard or anything. I thought it looked great and had a really good story, but I got kind of lost in with the map. It's like it just, I don't know. Just for me, I hope that they kind of fix that a little bit in the sequel. I'll definitely give it a chance if I actually have the ability to do so. And I like that. I would also like to see Titanfall come back. Or, look, just remake Titanfall 1. And, even if it's on all platforms, just remake it and put it out there. Just, the multiplayer. I think that would be absolutely incredible to see that. I miss that game so much. It's such an amazing game. And, they did such a really good job with it. So I do hope that they continue to, enhance and do those type of games. I want to see, single player, multiplayer. It doesn't really matter. I just think that, just having games out there in general that people want is a big thing. Now, as for Microsoft themselves, I think Microsoft, they've got their hands full with what they're doing already. What would be the point of buying EA if you have to keep everything multi-plat anyway, and you already have EA Play in Game Pass? So, there's already that instance where, after a certain amount of time, these games come to Game Pass and or EA Play, which is in Game Pass anyway. So, yeah, very interesting to see sort of the takes on this. I think EA is fine right now. I think that is nonsense that EA is about to be bought, or that Take-Two is about to be bought. I think that's just complete and utter nonsense. It wouldn't make sense for Microsoft to go out there and try to buy one of these other companies. I feel like with the 34, 35 studios that they're going to have, once the Activision deal closes, they might buy some studios, but I don't really see them picking up a huge deal like this anymore. I mean, I could see them picking up a Sobo. I could see them picking up, IO Interactive. I think that, we could see anything happen in the future. That's the interesting part. But do I think Microsoft is going to snatch up EA? Absolutely not. I think it wouldn't make much sense on that part. But what do you guys think? I'm very interested to hear what everybody thinks. Let me know. If you guys do enjoy the content, please like the video. It helps it to be seen, and it helps the channel to grow. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer 'em up. Thank you so much for watching. Crap Gamer out.